everyone, and welcome to this very special episode of Expanding the Chunks. Today, I'm being joined by none other than the Minefaire admin, 29thDoctor. And as always, my co-host... Wait, Tim?
That's right, everyone. It's me. That is Tim with a capital I.
Tim? It's capital T, not a capital I.
Oh, so it's capital T and capital I. I see.
No, Tim, it's... whatever. Just tell me where iGamer is.
Well, you see, iGamer wasn't feeling all that great today, so, yeah, he asked me to fill in for him, so now I'm here.
So you're telling me that if I message him right now, he will tell me you are supposed to be here?
Yep, 100%. I didn't trap him in an obsidian or anything like that. No way. Why would I ever do that?
Well, Tim, is there something you need to tell me? Because iGamer just texted me back and said he got trapped with obsidian while he was AFK. He said he is on his way here right now.
Wait, he can't be coming. He was really I mean sick.
Tim, get the heck out of my chair right now before you meet the end of my sharpness sword, and I'm telling you, you don't want that to happen.
Ah, jeez. Okay, bye, Doctor. Great to meet you, but I am friggin' out of here. Oh, boy.
Later, Tim.
iGamer, what the heck was that all about, man? What happened back there?
No clue. I'm really sorry I'm late. I take it Tim was the one that trapped me in the obsidian in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Seems a lot like that happened.
Well, unlike you last week, I actually pay attention at the meeting. So let's get the ball rolling here with some crafting competitions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Who Can Craft It Faster. Today, 29thDoctor and iGamer 2003 will be facing head-to-head in some crafting competitions. Both competitors will find in the shulker boxes next to them a collection of different materials that can be used for crafting. The goal of the game is to craft the item faster than the other person. I will call out an item and then say, you both have to go into the shulker box, grab the materials, and craft the item. First to put the item in the item frame on the table gets the point. Today we will be playing first to 5 points. With that, iGamer, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Doctor, are you ready?
Oh yes, you're going up, iGamer.
Woo!
Now I just want two things clear, all right? You both are using the crafting table in the middle.
Okay.
When I will list the material, or no, I'll list the item.
Uh-huh.
And then when I say go, you both go in your shulker boxes and craft away.
May we look in our shulker boxes now?
You can look in your shulker boxes, get a quick glimpse of where everything is. I'll count to 5.
Hang on a minute.
Shoot.
I gotta ignore ignore claims.
Whoops.
All right, iGamer, get out of your box.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I will give Doctor 5 seconds to look in his shulker box.
Oh, starting now?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. You both have a good idea where things are, correct?
Yep.
Nope.
Alright, that's not to help you at all. Alright, let's do this. So, I do have a journal. Hold on, we're just gonna just expose something real quick. I do have a journal of the... Are you cheating?
No, it was in my inventory from when you broke the spot to put my shulker box down.
No one saw that. Alright, but this journal contains the items you will be crafting. So, the first item you will be crafting, remember when I say go, that is when you guys go into shulker boxes. You may look at your shulker boxes, by the way, so you can get a quick...
No, not in it. Just look at it.
Yeah, just look at it, like look in its direction. The first item you will be crafting is an easy one. Remember, when you are done crafting crafting it, put it in the item frame as fast as you can.
Okay.
A crafting table. In 3, 2, 1, go! iGamer has gotten the point.
Woo! Sorry, Doc.
Alright, Doc, go ahead and put it in your... How many crafting tables do you have?
I'm in creative mode.
Oh, I forgot.
Well.
Alright, take your... That's loading. Take your items and put them back in your shop.
This is fun.
Jeez, Doc. Alright, but if you take...
How do I get rid of that without getting rid of the frame? Do I just right-click it again?
No, you just punch it.
You punch it. Now
Oh,
put
well,
your
not
crafting
destroy it?
table... Your crafting tables back in your shulker box.
Okay. Crafting table.
Oh, by the way, guys, this is what they're working with. I forgot to.
Oh yeah.
The next thing you will be crafting
Uh-huh.
is 1 sugar.
Oh!
In 3, 2, 1. Just one.
Crud.
Well, it looks like iGamer gets the point again.
I knew how to make it. I'm just like really, really slow.
iGamer, go ahead and well, the both of you go ahead and put it back in your shulker box.
I didn't even use the punch it. Punch it.
You punch it. Left click. There you go, There you go, Doctor.
He knows how to
Interesting
punch
mini-
things. Honestly though, like, so with that, I didn't even use the crafting table. I just went in my inventory.
Oh, Doc's in creative mode, so if he punches the item frame, he doesn't get the item back.
Oh right.
I had it because when I put it in there, I still had it in my inventory.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but do you still have a sugar?
Yeah,
You
he
still
has
have
it.
one
It's in
sugar?
there.
Put it back in the shelf.
Alright, for the next item, there is an item that I will give you because you will need it. You guys will be crafting a cake. Remember,
Oh,
you cannot, journal. You cannot use the journal.
No, I don't remember how to craft a cake. We just went over this last episode.
That's why it's gonna take you a while. Alright,
Wait, you
3,
didn't give me
2,
any
1.
extra sugar.
Yeah, did I give you one more? You used the
did.
sugar that's in there.
There's
Go.
one sugar in here. I only have 1 sugar. Wait, that's
I'm
all
just
I need.
giving
That's
you-
all I need.
Quit your belly aching.
Hey. I don't remember how to do this.
The dog's just throwing stuff on the ground. I'll take that. I'll take that oak log, thank you. And the minecart, yeah.
Dude, I
I'll
only
make it
have
big.
1 sugar. You did not give me any sugar.
Who said you needed 2 sugar? 2 sugars.
What am I doing wrong? Suck at this.
Let me just quickly turn chat back on.
You need more than 1 piece of sugar, loser.
Go. Did you just look through the crafting recipe?
Me?
Yes.
No, I just remembered from last week I needed more than 1 piece of sugar. Because I still don't know how to make it.
This is very intense.
This is honestly gonna take me forever.
Hey,
Something
Doc gets the point! Woo!
I got
Good
it.
job, Doc.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2-1. I will be taking.
I
that
knew
cake,
you
by
were
the way.
gonna-
I forgot like how many milks I needed. I thought I only needed 2, but I needed 3.
Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday, so thanks for the cake.
Well, okay.
It's nutritious. You should eat it for breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. By the way, the when this episode comes out, my birthday would have passed. So, when you guys see this, what's up? I'm a teenager now. All right, you guys. By the way, you guys don't need that cake for later, so you know. I just took it from you. All right, the next item you will have to craft. Doc, are you in the shulker box?
No.
No, he's just staring at it. Nope.
No.
Nope.
All right. Next item you will be crafting is a torch. Go.
Oh, this is easy.
I didn't even do the craft. I didn't even do the countdown.
No, that's a stick. That's a stick.
Did anyone else see what iGamer just did? iGamer just put a stick in the item frame.
Yeah.
Name Bazinga? Who got that one first?
You know what? I'm pretty blind. I didn't really complete. No, it was iGamer. All right, iGamer gets.
Wow, way to play
point.
29th. Like,
Yeah, keep placing the torches, Doc. I actually need torches.
I actually. Now we're just exploiting the admin. Dude, I just crafted like 20 stacks of torches. We don't need any more.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we're getting off topic. So now it is 3 to 1. Doc,
Yep.
you can start. You know what, Doc? You get a head start. You get to go in your shulker.
Nah, it's all good. I'm sitting up for this one.
Oh, Doc's serious now. He's serious now.
I've been standing this entire time.
Oh. Trash. This. Never mind. Okay.
All right, next crafting.
This time I'm actually gonna do the countdown. So you guys will have to craft a golden apple. Ha. Hope you remember where the golden apple is. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Craft.
Why am I grabbing iron? Why am I spazzing? I can't get my crafting table.
That would be iron. Who will get it first?
Move!
Oh, just a second
Get
behind.
out of my way!
All right.
4 to 1. I almost got you on that one.
Almost. You got really close.
All right. This could be the last. This could be the last thing. All right. So, the last. Well, not the last, Doctor. Come on, man. You got this.
I'm the 29th Doctor, not the last Doctor.
Alrighty. The next item you'll have to craft is a diamond sword. Pretty simple. All right.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, craft.
Is that go?
What?
Can you
Fine.
stop doing that? Oh no!
First, hey! Ha! In your face, iGamer. Ha!
Yeah, stay out of my way.
I'm on team admin.
Of course.
Who won that one? Did he win? Did he
No,
beat me?
you got that one.
So you got that one, Doc.
Woo!
Alrighty. Now, the next item you will have to craft. Come on, you can make this
I gotta
four.
get rid of some stuff here. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I'll take that. Just empty your pockets. Go on. Stack obsidian.
Where's all this stuff
Ooh,
coming from?
rails. Yep, take that.
Oh, honey blocks. Those are
Honey blocks. Thank you. Is that all? Alright. Nope. More. Alright. We got a stack of powered rails. We got a bee nest. Flint steel. Take that.
All right, I think I'm done with the stuff I want to give you.
Alright. Cool. I can't. Okay. Alright. The next. Oh wait, banner. I said.
What?
No.
What?
Oh yeah, you gotta craft the banner.
Oh, okay.
Without the
Well,
journal recipes. Remember, without the journal recipes.
I haven't been using them.
All right. In 3, 4, craft.
Okay. What?
A banner?
Yeah. Can you stop? Can you get your butt out of my face?
Alrighty.
I have no idea how to make a banner.
Think of signs with wool.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have our winner, but should we just keep going?
No, not really.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
I knew that was gonna happen. I got a couple.
Yeah, you got a
Alright.
couple. You were good. Hey, you got me on cake, which is the hardest one. So.
All right. Well, with that being said, our winner is iGamer. iGamer 2003.
Well, GG Doctor, and thanks for playing. But now, let's get down to what we have you here for, and talk about you and your role in the Minefaire server.
right, then. We will start you off with an easy one. Who are you? What exactly do you do? So,
I am a math teacher by profession. I teach in northern Westchester County. I live in the Poconos of Pennsylvania,
hmm.
and I originally got into. Well, yeah, that's my main. That's my main deal. We'll for later, but yeah, I'm a teacher. I'm a daddy and a wife. Only one wife. I guess that's the way it's supposed to. And that's what I do.
All right, so you said that you lived in the Poconos. I just have one question. So, me and my family went there for vacation one time.
I'm sorry.
Uh, me and my family went to the Poconos for vacation.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you came here for vacation, but keep going.
I get it.
Okay, I thought I was cutting out or something. I was like, wait.
No, keep going. You came here for vacation. What happened?
So there's like a zip line, and there's in the winter they have like a ski resort or something.
Are you talking about Camelback?
You know what?
Can you not think of the name? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no, I can't think of the name at all. I wasn't even
Sky?
told what the name of the place was.
Was it Sky something or the other?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Camelback is where you guys.
Ah, Camelback.
Yeah,
All
I've
right.
been there
There's
too.
Skytop, there's Camelback. There's a couple different places that would have that.
I didn't weigh enough to go on the tall zip line. I was
Aw.
sad.
Yeah, that is.
I weighed too much to go on the tall zip line.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was like 64 pounds or something, but now I'm like 103 is my guess.
Well then, I mean, we've really gotten off topic. This is. I guess though we should probably move on to our.
All right.
So, what? How did you get involved with Minefaire and the Minefaire company initially? Like, how did that all start for you?
All right. So it was about 5 years ago. This is a long story, but basically,
Jeez.
I bought. Well, I'll make it shorter than the long one. I'm involved with the Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Program, and I was looking around for things to do as part of that program, and in the chat group, they came around in late September, and somebody said, in Philadelphia, we're going to be doing this thing called Minefaire. It's kind of a brand new event, and they're looking for a few educator volunteers for the education area of the event.
That was very specific.
And I said, well, back then there wasn't really at all. And I said, fine, like I'm a teacher. This sounds awesome. I'm going to be involved in Minecraft. My son, this is 2016, I think it was, I think it was 2016. I could be wrong on that though. And my son had just gotten involved with it. He brought a book home from school. So I was like, well, let me get involved in this game thing called Minecraft and I'll go. And so I did. And it was awesome. At the time, all I had to do, my job, they had a free play area with a bunch of different devices, and parents only were allowed to play. They wanted the kid to teach the parents how to play.
Oh, that's.
And so my job was to be the big bully bouncer guy who kicked all the kids off and told them to go find the parent.
I love that.
That's great.
So that's what I did. And after that event, and while this was all going on, Mr. Isaacs, of course, was doing his whole, for lack of a better, I think they called it an education stage at the time. So he was doing his presentations while I was doing that. And afterwards, after the event was over, back then it was only one per year. It was like a one-off in Philly there. And he got me involved. He said, we're going to be starting this server. Do you want to come and hang out and play on it? So I did. And that's how I kind of got involved with Minefaire. The year later, they started going more virtual reality type stuff. So I learned how to do it, and I organized it, and they asked me to come with them abroad when they started going more. And so I just kind of fell into it, and it was a lot of fun.
So
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
that's really funny because you and I have known Isaacs for about the same time. I met him later that same year, or like the beginning of the next 2017.
Mm.
That's really
All right. So from there, what is your job on the Minefaire server? So what do you exactly do for the server in general?
At the moment, I'm pretty much the of it. Originally, it was created by Steve, Mr. Isaacs, and another teacher in Australia called Lynn Telfer. It was phenomenal. And they, Lynn had to go and do other things, and Steve, Mr. Isaacs, of course, is always busy doing other things. So they asked me as I was getting better and better at the game, and I was learning more of the commands more and more. Um, I kind of fell into the job of doing the admin there, and then they all kind of left me, and they kind of left it to me to do. Mr. Isaac still owns the account at the hosting service. I am just a user when I log into the console, but they pretty much give me free reign to do anything as long as it is, brand aligned to the Minefaire mission and everything else like that. So basically, keep it kid friendly, keep it family friendly, and keep it up and running and make it fun. And that's pretty much my mandate. And so that's what I do.
wow. You get a lot of free reign.
I pretty much do. Again, as long as I'm following their brand of keeping it friendly to families and kids safe as much as possible. Yeah, which and it's
Okay, sorry. You can finish.
no. I was just gonna say it's fun.
Oh, have you ever like brought an idea to them where they've said,
Where they've said no.
yeah,
I right at the moment. Well, yes, I did do that. I suggested that they advertise the server at the events, and the problem with that was because we were going to try to monetize the server, but we couldn't figure out how to do so fairly without either bending or breaking the end user license agreement. It's very specific about the fact that you cannot make money uh, off of giving people an advantage in the game. So I cannot have someone pay me pay me for the right to get fly, or I can't have someone give me money to get more money in their account online on the online server. That all what I can do, and what we've still toyed around with the idea of doing, is I can give out specific aesthetics like skin.
Mm-hmm.
I can give out. We can have people pay for exclusive skins. We can have people pay for plot in creative areas. Um, we had a great idea, and this was Lynn's idea actually, where we had this gigantic stage with a lot of what's the word, audience members, I guess. And each audience member was basically a big bobblehead, so to speak. And we had the idea of selling those bobblehead spaces for people to personalize so that their face was in position in the audience. And again, that is still out there. We have it built. We just don't know exactly how to monetize that and to sell it and things of that nature. But things like that are always on the table. And like I said, we want to be not the accommodating. We want them to be. There's a word for that. Compliant. We want to be compliant. I teach math, not English, so words sometimes come difficult to me. But that's the deal. There's rarely a moment when again, I almost have free reign to do anything until money is involved, and then I have to ask them.
Well, that's interesting. But as you've talked about, being an admin and being one of the only admins at this point that really is on the server, what is it like for you on a daily basis to try and like keep this server running and maintain it and work?
At the moment, it's not bad. There aren't that many users, and it's up and running to the point where I don't have to bother too much with it. There are those crashes that happen, which we're going to fix, but and you guys have seen this, almost any time it crashes, it's back up within a minute.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was
Get
really
right
fast.
Yeah, it is really fast.
So, that is my biggest headache, which isn't that big of a headache at all because people just get right back in. The only problem with that is, and the embarrassing part of that is if you or someone else is live streaming, like either Dad Can Learn or Rampage, and it goes down in the middle of their stream, and it's just a pain and embarrassing for me to have to watch them get in and out of it. But other than that, there's very little. Everybody on there right now kind of plays by the rules. There's a couple incidences here and there, but it's easy to get solved with a couple plugins that we have. That's easy for me to pretend I'm Sherlock Holmes. But
When really the game just tells you everything you need to know.
oh, it does. Yeah, the core protect is just killer.
Well,
The
you showed
game's
me
sick.
like a long time ago on the old server. I had come to help. I needed your help because someone took a beacon from me, and you like sent me a screenshot of the. It turns out though that this was funny, and we figured this out together that my friend ended up moving it and he had it. But I thought it was stolen, and you sent me a screenshot of just the game. And it really tells you like everything. It timestamps like the movement of like block stuff. It's really, it's really complex and like interesting.
If it's someone else and I think it's sensitive, I won't do that. So, like, there was an incident just recently. I want to say it was about a month ago, maybe less, where there was a possibility that one of the other users who is very young did something, and I wanted to protect the identity of the person, but I did tell who needed to be told, but I kind of kept it on the down low because I kind of wanted to keep their dignity and you help that be a teachable moment. I just flat out restored it for the person that lost it, so they weren't out anything.
Right.
So the idea was restore what I need to restore, so that what was stolen is put back, so the people that were victims are no longer victims, and then kind of quietly let the offenders know and say, listen, this can't be done that way anymore. We want to. I took care of it, but please make sure that this, if at all possible, doesn't happen again. And I think that's a fair way to go about it. Again, yours before on the old server, I think it was a matter of it being your friend, and I knew that, which is why I showed you what I showed you.
Right. Yeah. No, that's why you sent me is because you're like, no, it's just your friend, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. But no, that kind of stuff. In the old, I was part of another server, and it was a pretty large server, so they had an admin team that was like 6 or 7 different people.
Okay.
So what you had to do if before you doled out any kind of consequence, you had to have evidence. So you had to take a screenshot of stuff like that and post it in the Discord channel for consequences, so that everybody saw the evidence. Therefore, they approved of the action that you took.
Right.
For that. So
I don't like that though.
You don't like that?
I don't. It makes sense to have evidence, but like to post it for everybody.
It's not for everybody. No.
For the admin. For the
team.
admin. Okay, yeah.
Right,
No, that makes sense.
So
That makes
like if you're on the admin with me, and something happens, and someone says to me, I didn't do that, and iGamer punished me for it, I can look it up and I can say, you kind of did. I saw the evidence. You know what I mean?
right.
The computer told me everything.
It's only for it's basically accountability for the admin team only. It would not be in a Discord channel that everybody could see. It would be a private Discord channel.
I got. Yeah, no, that's.
another thing that I want to ask you. I've noticed that as an admin, you're always online or in the Discord. So how do you balance that with the other parts of your life?
Well, I am and I'm not. I make it look like I'm always on there, but I try not to pop in unless A, I just feel like it, or B, something really, really necessitates. Now, there's a lot of time that I look back on the chat and I'm like, wow, I should have just did that. But one of the new plugins that we have hooks in with Discord. So, and I have Discord on my phone and I have an internet connection almost wherever I am. So, even during the school day, if it's between classes, it's really easy for me to just really quick chime in about something and then, get back to teaching or something like that. And that was one of the reasons why we did that that Discord app slash plugin was, for me to be able to do that. So I wouldn't have to be in the game at all times. Not only that, but if it's Discord and it's constantly, scrolling there, there's a second record besides the console on the server
Mm-hmm.
where we host our servers. It's also in Discord servers, a whole accounting of it, I guess, a copy of it. So, I don't know. It's just easier to have copies of everything, and Discord's a lot easier to get into than a console is.
Yeah, and I have to say, as much as that Discord thing is meant for you, you do not know how many days when I'm just sitting doing nothing that I will go into survival chat and see if anyone's online just to like say hello to people who are use it that way. It's really nice.
It is, and that's the other reason why it's there. People that may not be able to get into the game, but maybe they can say something. I've been on other servers where only the admin everybody can see it, but only admin can chat in there. And I was like, why? As long as they're not saying any bad words, I don't care if they say anything.
Right. And that was
That's
cool.
why.
Go ahead.
No, that's why Minefaire is like everybody's nice. Like, I mean,
because they know they're being watched.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I mean, like, I try to be nice in general. Like, I say hello to someone that comes on. It's kind of just a thing that everybody does on the server.
This server community is great, and I have to say, like, being able yesterday when we were watching the space launch on live stream, you to just like show up in Discord and like talk about that was awesome. And I'm really sad that they canceled that.
Well, postponed, not canceled.
True.
Postponed.
True.
That's true.
Saturday.
Saturday, hopefully. 2 days. By now, it'll be up in the running.
So, what were some of the biggest problems servers since starting to work on Minefaire?
I think one of the biggest issues we had was on the original server. The original server was on a different host, and it was very limited as far as the space on their hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a problem with chunks that began to just randomly go error-wise. And it was like these random chunks would appear. It would be like all of a sudden sheer cliffs, and you could see everything.
Yes, the random disappearing and moving chunk.
Yeah, if you remember that. That was the most difficult thing to figure out why it didn't work right and how we could fix it. Once we found out that it was just the straight up limitations of the server itself and the hosting service, then we switched over to the other one. The other issue then too that we had was inventory creep, because we used to have a server that had all worlds on one server box, so to speak. So you had creative worlds and survival worlds all under the same server. And no matter what plugin we thought we used, there were different inventory plugins that swore to us that they would work where they would keep it separate depending upon what world we were in. There was always someone that figured out how to glitch it one way or the other. And so we finally figured out how to bungee servers together, and that worked really well. The most recent challenge was the whole portal issue.
Yes.
And, it was more along the lines of just a silly me not knowing that Multiverse actually had a plugin on Bucket that was updated, because I thought the last update that they had was for 1.10, and obviously we're at 1.15 now, so I didn't want to use that plugin. But in just sheer accident, I saw on a search engine that there was another Multiverse plugin. Once I installed that and I uninstalled the other world plugin that we had, everything just seemed to work, and it was great. So
So
Thank
about
goodness for that.
that glitch with the inventory on the old server, is it too late to tell you I was one of those people who always found a way to glitch that out?
I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I had entire caverns of like full chests, double chests, full of stacks of diamond.
Yeah, and things you just
and
glitched over.
everything,
Yeah.
everything that I had, and I was kind of petrified that Lynn was going to find me or Steve was going to find me out. But now that it doesn't really matter now.
No.
You
got creative mode either way, dude.
I haven't been on that server in a while. It would be interesting to reload that server, bad chunks and all, on a separate isolated server box and look and see what we had. You had some pretty cool builds.
Oh, I had cool builds? I thought my builds were nightmares. It was like this weird sky base that didn't even fit in any style. It was disgusting.
Well, I mean, comparing your old base to now, I mean, this is much nicer.
Yeah, we actually built with a purpose and a style, and it makes sense, and my old base was just weird.
It looked cool to me. That was back when I still don't have an idea what I'm doing. Like, I just get on and all I want to do is build mansions. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But, by the way, I'm loving that campfire on your head. I'm just gonna
really? Okay. Trying to think of something else I could put on my head here.
Maybe you could put put a painting on your head.
Yeah, but that would just show up as a painting. It wouldn't show up as the painting.
Yeah, I know. Oh, or put an Eye of Ender on your head. That'd be funny.
All right.
Thing with hack.
We'll work on that.
I just love hearing you guys talk about the old server because one, I don't have to say anything, and two, it's kind of just interesting to hear what the old server was like.
Oh, I gotta tell you, the old server was a blast, but this server is so much smoother, so much more well put together. That's not English at all. This server's put together so much better than the other one was. I think just because the other one, like you mentioned, got so big for the server capability, just really started falling.
Yeah.
But
you might have to take the. There we go. Oh, I can't wait to see this. There we go.
Ender Pro.
Ender Pro.
Oh, that's not the eye.
No.
No, it's not, but they're pretty much the same thing, aren't they? Oh, there we go. There's the eye. You have it in your hand. There we go. That's a lot better.
You've got a third eye. You can see everything now.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, we're getting a little bit off topic, but
Indeed.
That's enough about the two servers for right now. But let's move on to talking about some of the IRL Minefaire events. So, Doctor, do you mind explaining exactly what a Minefaire event is?
Oh, wow. Exactly, no. I'll give you a broad overview. A Minefaire event was started to create an outlet and an event that parents could come with their kids as families and enjoy a day out. Like, you don't see many things to do with kids of that age these days, where everybody could enjoy themselves. There'd be something for everyone, and it would just be a great day. A lot like going to the fair. That's why they kind of call it Minefaire, I think.
Yeah, we used to do that.
And it's usually held in convention centers inside. and it's usually consists of at least 4 major booths or stages. Um, there's the diamond stage, which is where all the major entertainment happens.
Mhm.
There's the wow, my brain just went education stage. There's the education stage, which they now call the learning lab.
I like that better.
Yeah. There's the wow, I can't think of the fourth one. I know there's the inspiration stage.
Oh, is that where a bunch of big YouTubers?
No,
No,
the YouTubers take the diamond stage. Usually.
It could be, yeah. The YouTubers usually go. There are YouTubers that show up. We kind of had a 2-tier system
Mm-hmm.
for talent that came in. We called anybody that had 100,000 subscribers or more
Mm-hmm.
a YouTuber,
Talent.
and they would get YouTuber billing. And anyone that had under 100,000 would be considered a rising star.
Woo!
So we're rising stars. Hey!
Yeah, I mean, if
Technically.
if you wanted to apply once they get going again,
Yeah, you
and if
gotta
you
apply
wanted
for
to
it, right?
apply to go as the rising star, you would. I don't know. Originally, it was Mr. Isaac's daughter and Mr. Isaac himself and Mrs. Isaacs that was
I know all of that.
organizing that, but I think that kind of went to somebody else in the company before they went in hibernation. But you can apply to become a rising star.
Yep.
And then when you get there, you can have your own little booths too. And I really cannot think of the fourth stage, and it's really, really the battle stage. The battle stage.
That sounds intriguing.
The battle stage, they would basically have 6 Xboxes set up with 2 controllers for each one. And they would have kids come up. They would have a guy up on stage or a girl up on stage. They would have a person up on stage. And that would be the MC of the battle stage area. And they would invite kids come up. So they would have 12 students up there, and it would be a battle build. A build battle. And they would give some topic, and they had it set up so that the big screen behind was cycling through at random all of the different builds, so you would be able to see what everybody was building. And then they would all vote on the winner. Like the audience would all scream. They would take turns. Who do you think this one? Who do you think this one?
Yeah, I would see like the audience like screaming.
So I've seen, of course, through the Rising Star community on the Discord and through Isaac for multiple years, like videos of not only behind the scenes of Minefaire, but the actual Minefaire event. And it's so cool. I want to go so desperately. And the really sad thing...
That's just scratching the surface. There's the VR area, which is what
Right.
I kind of got stuck with. And I love it.
VR is awesome.
We started with only 25 phones. We had Droid phones that had the Oculus installed on it.
Okay.
And the problem there was we gave kids 5 minutes each in Worlds, but the phones were overheating and dying quickly, and we ended up having to recharge them. So we ended up only really having 12 at a time because the 12 were back recharging. But then it got so much that by the time 11:30 hit, we had to shut down for a full hour to let everything completely recharge and then start up again. And it was just a pain in the neck. The phones were breaking, not really breaking, but breaking down, I should say. Like it took a while to get them re-upped and everything. So then they as Minefaire got bigger and bigger, they got an official sponsor, Acer. And Acer donated their headset things and all a bunch of laptops. So now we were able to power laptops with real power and have them on all day long without them failing.
With real power, like my laptop is right now, plugged in all day.
Same.
And we went up to 40. We had 40 devices. So we gave every kid 10 minutes on that. and my son is playing something with lightsabers over there. Sorry, that's completely random. Um,
We can't hear anything. We're good.
no, you can't hear anything. I'm just looking through the windows. Anywho,
Oh.
so they went from that. There's also all kinds of different vendors that are there because Minecraft started as an indie game. Mojang and Microsoft and Minecraft really wanted there to be a place for indie gamers. So wherever we went, mostly Mr. Isaacs would research out if there were any indie gamers out there that would like to come in and have a booth to showcase their games and demo them and stuff like that. So there was a place for that. But there's all other kinds of vendors. Of course, the big merchandise area with official merch and exclusive merch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I really didn't go after the third one. It really became, especially with my connection with the server, the Minecraft server that we have here, I really started going for the people connection. Like I started talking to and chatting with people on the game, and then maybe even if I was lucky in the Discord, and it became a lot of fun to go and meet these people that I had been talking with for a long time. And that to me was more fun than the actual event, if you believe that.
No, I believe that. And speaking of meeting people, remember how long it took us to realize that we had actually ended up in that same event for Games for Change? We were there together, and we had talked on the server a little bit before and after the event, and it still took us like a solid couple months after that event was over to even realize that we had met each other.
Yeah, that Games for Change thing, that was pretty cool. We had to come up with a lesson.
Yeah.
And I did the probability lesson is the one that we came up with, I think.
I think, yeah, you guys were, well, makes sense, you're a math teacher.
Ew, probability.
No, it was fun. He did.
Hey, I'm learning about probability right now.
Look,
so
he
I
did a
actually
really-
did a test on it.
He did a really cool thing. He did Minecraft. Oh no, you
No,
made
Doc.
Doctor sad. He's gonna leave.
I'm sorry, Doc. Ah!
Um,
I'm being. He's stomping on me.
Honestly, it was really cool. He did a whole lesson about testing probability with the chances of different trees dropping saplings in Minecraft education. It's super cool.
It basically was the difference between theoretical versus experimental probability. Now, Pizza,
Yes.
in your math class, have
Yes.
you guys talked about flipping a coin?
Nice tie, by the way. No.
You have not talked about flipping a coin.
Fine,
So
you're
No.
in 7th grade.
if you flip a coin 10 times,
Yeah.
how many times do you think that coin is going to have tails?
Well, it's a 50% chance.
Which means,
It's 5 out of 10.
now that's what you just did was theoretical probability.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
You're getting
if you were
schooled.
to actually flip that coin 10
Mhm.
times, do you think you would get exactly 5 tails?
Probably not.
Maybe, most likely, right?
Uh-huh.
So there is a difference between experimental and theoretical probability. Theoretical probability is what should happen.
Yes.
Experimental probability is what does happen.
Yes.
Now, I began playing Minecraft, and one of the first things you want to do when you play Minecraft is
Get
get
wood.
shovels and build a house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I started to knock down trees,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that once you knock down a tree, you didn't have to go out searching for more trees. The leaves would give you saplings that you could plant and get more trees.
Yes.
So I found out that you basically don't have to. You can create a tree farm that's sustainable. But then sometimes I realized, and this was what got me angry and what triggered me, I cut down a tree and I didn't get a sapling.
Yes.
And I got mad. And I thought the game broke. It turns out the game didn't break. It turns out, and I looked up on the Gamepedia website, which is awesome. It turns out that the game didn't break. It turns out that the game didn't break. It turns out, and I looked up on the Gamepedia website, which is awesome. It turns out that the game didn't break. It turns out, and I looked up on the Gamepedia website, which is awesome. And it
Indeed.
basically told me that there was a built-in probability of 1 out of every 20 leaves is what a sapling should be.
Yes.
And so then I thought, well, wait a minute now. What if we just have trees and we know how many leaves are in each tree and we can count how many saplings we get and then we can test that theoretical probability. You're bored out of your mind, aren't you, Pizza?
my math teacher should watch this video.
I'm enjoying this only because I already heard you guys give this presentation a couple years ago.
Yeah. So the idea is instead of flipping a coin in your classroom and having the coins all drop to the floor, which always happens with 7th graders because they're a bunch of goofs.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. The goof was a nicer word than what I really wanted to say. So they're a bunch of goofs, and the coins all drop to the floor. No one knows why, because, why do coins drop to the floor? I don't know. So you have a better way to talk about the concept, the mathematical concept of theoretical and experimental probability with Minecraft.
Yeah.
And you can get kids into the game and engage them a lot more than a stupid coin, which they don't really care about. Yeah. That's not to say that every kid's going to care about Minecraft, but I'm willing to bet more kids care about Minecraft than flipping a coin.
Eventually.
Cool. So we already talked about a little bit, and we kind of got on a tangent about gaming events. This is a gaming talk. Cheers. You are at some of the Minefaire events usually. You talk about like meeting people, but when you go there, do you have like a specific role that you're supposed to be doing? What do you normally do yourself?
I missed half of that. You asked what I normally do there?
Yeah.
Normally, I will get there, if it's the summertime, I'll show up Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon at some point, and we'll check into the hotel, and we'll eat dinner, and we'll meet a little bit and figure out the game plan for the next day. Thursday, we'll begin to set up the basic skeleton of everything. We get started on computers. We get started on setting up all the tech and everything else like that in the booths. And Friday, theoretically, is a day just to test it, make sure everything works, welcome all the talent, and bring them in. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday are just the days that we do the event. And then Sunday night is a lot like working in a circus and breaking it down, because we have to get the whole thing down before we leave that night and put into a truck.
And that is what absolutely amazes you guys.
It was
all of that within 4 days. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really makes you feel like you're part of a modern day circus. So I tell my parents jokingly, I tell them, yeah, Mom, I ran away and I joined the circus.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Now, that's the summertime. During the school year, I can't always get there on Wednesday night or even, all of Thursday. I usually can only get maybe a Friday. So I'll fly in on a Thursday night, or I'll come in on a Friday flight if I can, so that I don't have to take days off of school. And then I'll do my thing on Saturday and Sunday, help them pack out Sunday, and then take a red eye, land in New York, and drive to work. So the weekends that I do that, I'm incredibly tired usually, but it's very fulfilling. It's a lot of fun.
And
Now-
go ahead, Pizza.
No, you go. You go.
So I was just gonna say, like, breaking everything up, and I can't imagine what it's like, guys. There are days where, as you and I were messaging back and forth before, I'm a arts instructor, so a lot of times I'm a certified referee. I go to all these competitions. I'm either competing or working, or usually both. And we rent out like these gyms to like get all the mats down, all the scoreboards up, all the everything set up and deconstructed with before everyone shows up, and then deconstructed before the night ends. And I mean, it's just incredible how many people you see working together to do that. It is really like whack.
It's interesting because now the company that does Minefaire is called, it's actually under a bigger umbrella called Open World Events.
Okay.
And they also produce a Lego event called Brickfest Live,
Oh, that's cool.
which isn't necessarily an official Lego event, but they're allowed to put it on as long as they don't say that they're an official Lego event. Which they aren't officially. They just put together a brick festival. And they do a couple others too. I think their most recent thing that they were going to get up and running this year really fast was going to be something called Comic-Con for Kids.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
They tested that out last October, and it was pretty cool. I think it was down there in Philly,
Okay.
and it was pretty massive. They had a lot of stuff there. But those people that do that, they had everything down to a science. They knew exactly what goes where, how it gets packed in. And you as a person that, like me, is in charge of the VR area, you got very good at knowing how to set it up and break it down fast.
Yeah.
You do it 10 or 20 times, you do get fast at anything.
Of course.
Unlike my skills at craft table is what we were just trying out. I'm not I don't do that often, so I need to practice more, I guess.
Well, you have creative mode, so why do you need?
Yeah, I cheat.
Yeah.
But I do have one quick question for you about this. Is my last one about the Minefaire event. So, you say that some big YouTubers come to the Minefaire events. Let me give you a number. Like, let's say, how many YouTubers would you say that have over, like, I don't know, 500,000 subscribers?
A bunch of them. I mean, we had people like, daggone it, I can't remember his name. I think it begins with a J.
Grian?
No.
Green does not begin with a J.
Oh,
You
it's a
sound,
J.
boy.
Oh, I
Maybe
thought
he
it said
would say
G.
something that's like G.
Jerome?
I remember
Are
we
you
had
thinking
Unspeakable
Jerome?
in LA. Unspeakable came to our event.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Unspeakable's been to a Minefaire.
Jerome.
Jerome.
Yeah.
Jerome ASF.
Jerome.
Well, he knows Isaac's though. He knows Isaac.
Right. There was another guy, Direwolf.
Yep.
I want to say he had over 1 million. Beckbro Jack.
I'll just throw in a few random ones.
He's got over 2 million. Beckbro Jack is awesome. He's such a good guy. He's a young guy, and he comes with his family. I think he's in his 20s, and he was just a great personality. His whole family was awesome. OMG Chad was there to a couple events.
Yep.
Sally Green. I don't know if Sally Green is still around, but she went to a couple before.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know if she's still making content, but yeah.
I'm just gonna throw out like a random name. Like I don't have good knowledge on the Minefaire events, so I'm happy that we're actually asking questions about it because it does sound really intriguing. But what about someone like I don't know, Captain Sparkles or Dan TDM or someone like that?
Some of those big names, and even guys like Unspeakable, like the amount of money that we could give them wasn't enough for them to come out.
I see.
The amount of recording and streaming that they do just to take a day off, they're losing cash.
Yeah.
When you get up that high, you really need to be in a constant state of creation, and when you don't, you lose money.
Yeah.
So, and to make up for that, we would have had to, and I say we, I mean they, as Minefaire, they would have had to really pony up a huge amount of money. And those guys, they're awesome. They're great to fans when they're there. But honestly, to be fair to them, you really couldn't offer them something that was fair without charging people up the yin-yang, and it just wouldn't be right. And
That is a new phrase, up the yin-yang. I like
No, but have any of them like come just freely? Like they just wanted to go. They weren't forced. Well, none of them are really forced to go there. Like
No,
you
of
said
course.
that the amount that you're paying them isn't enough because they're losing money. Have any of them just like come freely because they wanted to check out the
I am
event?
not in charge of those decisions, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Um,
I know a lot of YouTubers, they just vlog the event, any event that they go
So
to.
I will say that Sally Green, amazing YouTuber content creator, used to be on the original Minefaire years.
Yeah, she was.
Because I remember being online during some of her streams and chatting with her in chat, like the nicest person. Would watch some of her streams when she was on the server, and I mean, it was amazing to notice that I was in like the same community as someone of her caliber. But at the same time, like, obviously she was there because she wanted to be, but I'm sure when she came to some of the events, I'm sure would have put something out for her.
Sally was perhaps one of the very good friends of Minefaire. I mean, she still is, but she just doesn't go anymore. But she was a great person with the fans. She was great with the fans. Would talk to anybody that came up to her. Like I remember, we'd be staying over at the hotel after the first night, and fans would come up to her, and as tired as she was always very, very nice to them. I still catch her here and there on Twitter.
Okay.
She posts something on Twitter from time to time, but no, she got out of the game, and I don't know why. Maybe it got too much for her family because, like I said, it's a full-time gig, and I tried to start something like that with my son and daughter about 2 years ago, because I kind of got hit with the bug of coolness and fame. It wouldn't be neat if you had your own and stuff like that, but
So
it
us,
is.
basically.
We tried to start off by making the kids giving them fake names, and we practiced walking around the house calling each other with a fake name. They couldn't even do that. So every time we started streaming, they'd start calling each other by their first name, and I was like, "That's it, we're done."
That's it, we're done. See, I used to do that with some of my friends, and with Pizza when we first started, we would only use gamer tag. And that actually worked out because we were old enough. And eventually we got lazy with it. It's to the point where it just doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, we're just way too lazy.
Yeah. So, anywho, but no, but I was more thrilled with the Rising Star. Guys like Effect, Ace came out from Australia to do. It was about a year
Australia.
ago. A year ago, Ace was hanging out with us in LA and Seattle. He was awesome. If you've ever watched Ace Unhacked, I highly recommend it. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Effect was a great guy. Wild Goat, she came out with her family to a couple events. I'm trying to think of who else.
These are all names that you're throwing around that I don't know if Pizza's heard of, but I definitely know.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was always fun, even though they're not huge yet. They're just great people. Guys like Rampage and Mr. Beeson. I've met them and chatted with them several times. They're great people to hang out with, and it's people like that I really look forward to seeing at Minefaire events. And also because I'm an educator and I'm hooked up into the Microsoft Educator Expert Group, I have connections with teachers all over the country and world.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So some Minefaire events, they afforded me the opportunity to meet them because I'd invite them out and they'd hang out in the education area for a day or two, and we could have dinner that night too and stuff, and it was a good time. But even international people, if you've ever heard of Stephen Reed, he came out to a couple of them, one in Seattle and a couple others, and he was fantastic. From Scotland. He's got that Scottish
accent.
Oh, and he's just brilliant though. What he thinks of to do with Minecraft with kids and everything like that, he's just genius.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but the esports for education Discord server that you and Mr. Isaacs are in, I am part of that.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I've been in there for like about a year now, and I really haven't gotten to participate in it, but I'm looking to.
That thing is crazy. So many people in there. They're doing so much. Like it's so busy. I got to get out of it.
I know, me too. But at the same time, I think it would be cool to maybe invest some of my summer into getting involved in some of the cool things that they offer up in.
Oh, definitely. Sam Anton, who is huge with NASIF out in California. She came to a couple Minefaire events. She was a lot of fun to listen to at one of her events. She brought a professor along that mentioned how they were actually doing brain research on people that were playing Minecraft.
Oh,
and
you
how
cannot be serious. That sounds amazing.
Dude, they're doing it at UC Irvine, and they actually have shown that people that are older than 40, their, what do they call it? The hippocampus, I think it is,
I don't know.
actually gets larger, and your memory improves after playing Minecraft.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's an
And they're
excuse to
saying-
tell your parents to get you Minecraft.
Yeah, or your children.
Yeah.
I need to play Minecraft, kids. Leave me alone.
I need to play Minecraft to get better memory and not become old. Okay, go away now.
That's the basic idea. Is it builds a hippocampus, and it may or may not stave off things like Alzheimer's and or old age in general by just keeping your brain going. So yeah, I'm gonna play as much Minecraft as I can.
I am currently on my iPad because something tells me a hippocampus is just the big word for a
Hypocrite.
hippo, like the animal.
Oh, the animal. Okay, I'm following.
I forget. I'm pretty sure it's hippocampus.
No, you're right.
It's
It's a
part of the
major component of the brain of humans and other vertebrates. Humans and other mammals have 2 hippocampi, one in each side of the brain.
Huh.
I'm now
Interesting.
currently on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So then what you do is you look up research that ties Minecraft to hippocampus.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out later.
Dude,
Yeah,
will
sorry.
totally happen.
Yeah, but I do have to be honest, Doc. That all sounds super awesome, and I'm really sad that they had to many of them due to COVID virus. I hope they get back up soon, but in the meantime, you have mentioned working on a new server. What are your plans for the upcoming server?
So, we're going to try to expand our horizons with a couple different areas. Number one, we want to try and fix the whole memory issue. That still has been pretty much the only problem that I haven't been able to fix yet. The reason it's crashing from time to time is that the memory is not even memory, it's the CPU is running hot. The memory has got, we've allocated 5 gigabytes to the server, which should be plenty for running even up to 50 people. But for some reason, we're just hitting a wall. It's running hot at 50% without hardly anybody on it.
Yeah, I've noticed it crashes a lot when a lot of people seem in.
So I've noticed that the creative server does not do that. So I don't know why it is. I have a feeling it's because we set the world border of the survival server to be 100,000 by 100,000. And in actuality, that means that you have positive and negative 100,000 in each direction. So you've got 200,000 by 200,000, which boils down to about 40 billion blocks.
I was gonna say, can I?
You want to do the math?
I do.
I just lost you there. It's 40 billion square area,
Okay,
and
there
that's
we go.
just area. That's not the volume.
I was gonna do
if
the
you
math,
can-
but there you go.
Yeah, if you want to do the math of how many blocks that is total, you can take 40 billion and then multiply that by 256.
No, but my
Okay,
question
will
is
do.
that you said that when the survival server crashes, that you get sent to the creative server, right? That's
Yeah,
usually what happens. You either go to the creative server or you get kicked. But you said that the creative server doesn't normally crash. But what if it did? Would it just completely kick you, or would it just? send you
Yeah,
somewhere?
I think you'd be completely kicked from the entire server.
Okay, makes sense.
And so we're looking to figure out how to create a server that's limited and it might be about 5,000 plus or minus. So it's basically 10,000 by 10,000, which limits us to about only. Daggone it, my brain is frying right now. 100. I think it's 100 million.
Well, I can give you an answer on how many blocks the current server is.
Is it over 1 trillion?
It is. It's actually 10
Oh
trillion.
my
10
gosh.
trillion 240 billion blocks.
Yeah. And now,
Jeez.
the problem is you would think, well, people can't possibly travel that far. Well, they can with another little plugin that we have called RTP.
Woo!
Exactly. See, but the thing is,
Which recently
there's-
appears to be taking everyone to our base.
exactly. But with all those blocks, it's weird because I would RTP and I'd keep ending up at the same exact places.
That might be just us needing to update RTP. But
Very possible.
RTP, basically every time you RTP somewhere, it has to create the chunks for that area. And it creates all that space. The server itself right now is plugging along at, I think, about 50 gigabytes for the world data.
Woo.
Jeez.
So what we're planning on doing now is, again, limiting it to 10,000 by 10,000, maybe even less, maybe 5,000 rather, by 5,000, plus or minus. And then having a resource world that people would actually use then, because they would be limited to how much things they could get if it was only 5,000 by 5,000.
Yeah.
But it would help us keep our server in line. Now, it's entirely possible, and I experimented with this before when it was like 1.13, or 1.14 rather. It's entirely possible that it's a plugin that's affecting us too. And what I wanted to test was just installing one plugin, checking the memory on it, installing another plugin, checking the memory. But that's sort of a sterile test because no one's using it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to figure that out. And so with the new server, to get back to your original question,
Yes.
the new server, I want to have a limited world where there'll be a world border at 5,000 plus and minus blocks in each direction. And I want there to be several other survival worlds that you can go to and visit, like the Seattle one that the guy created, Minefaire, a resource world,
Mm-hmm.
other places that you can go visit and hang out in and check out. And then that's all in the survival server. And then in the creative server, I want there to be a real creative server where you actually will go and build things, maybe even a plot world where you can just go crazy with your massive build pixel art type stuff that
Mhm.
Lynn is famous for. And
Oh my god,
then,
that build she built on creative the other day.
oh,
Jesus. Pizza, I gotta take you to see it at some point. Oh my god, Lynn.
That sounds cool. But
and then a game server. I want a game server too. So there would be 3 servers: a
yes.
survival server, a creative, and then a game server. Right now, we don't have a game server at all, but I'm learning that there are plugins that you can actually download and create those kind of things. I also might talk to the guys over at CompMC to find out if they wouldn't mind doing some of that heavy lifting for us and letting us host one of their games for us.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be cool, since they already were coming to Minefaire events and hosting full-on esport event type things in Minecraft. So we'll see if they don't want to lend us something or not. We'll find out. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
charge something for it, in which case, then that is not part of the EULA. We would be able to charge for that.
But I do want to throw something out there. You did, when we were talking originally about the news server, when you first started, putting it all together, you did say that you were willing to copy and paste some bases.
Yes. So if we would, but there may be some bases like yours that, what are you right now? 1,000 by 1,000?
Yeah, I just want to put out there.
Yeah.
I just want to put out there. You said that if you were to copy and paste our base into one of the worlds, it takes up about 1% or more of just
It
the world.
might. If you have, what's your base? You know, the square area.
Well, now we've kind of expanded back to the old base.
Yeah, we've just made our claim a little bit bigger.
How many claim blocks did they give you?
At least over 70 something thousand.
Yeah, so you're looking at 70,000, let's say, out of a million. No, out of 100 million. 100 million is what it would be. That wouldn't be a huge part. I guess we could figure something out.
Got really ambitious. Yeah.
Yeah, but the new server sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see. You know, in the beginning, it's the lobby. We're going to create a lobby too from the old lobby area. Hang on a minute here. I'm going to post something in your other server. There you go. We hope it's going to be cool. We'll end it with that.
Yeah.
That's all we can hope for. That it'll be a valuable experience for us, new players and old, to hop on and enjoy the beloved. Oh, you posted the link thing. Yes.
Can people see that on your?
Yes, people can. Yep.
All
that's
I
in
saw
our
was-
hashtag general.
All I saw was the DM message.
It's a message on your server, and it is the link to the memory thing
Oh,
for
I
Minecraft.
see now. The hippocampo memory.
Yep.
Reading.
All the research that they're doing, like real research that a university is doing.
Huh, that's interesting.
Pretty wild.
But unfortunately, as you have to start reading, I guess that's what is either one of you can pick one funny or stressful moment that you've had on. It could be admin stuff, being on the server and playing and working. Say is one of your highlights.
I think I got about half of that. You're looking for a stressful,
Funny or stressful moment.
a funny or stressful
From
moment.
the server. Just one of your highlights.
Wow.
I'm sure there's many to choose from, Doc.
We'll go around the room. Pizza, you can give yours. I'll give
Oh, who's going first?
Doctor first, then you, then me.
All right.
I think not much is funny to me on the server. Like, I find out that I can do really silly things. Like when I found out how to use the world edit commands.
What about the eye vendor on your head?
yeah, that's
Vendor on my head. I found out that we could fill whole areas in the sky with torches.
That's what that was.
yes, it is what that was. He teleported me to him as soon as he did that. Like, look at this, it's weird.
And so what we did was we used world edit to first fill a sphere or a pyramid with a solid object like a diamond block or something like that. And then you use the replace command to fill it with torches. And it just is this awesome torch structure in the middle of nowhere.
And they just
in the
float.
sky. And when you fly through it, it just looks so cool. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done on the server. I thought I really enjoyed that. When I got done figuring out how to do both the what's the word I'm looking for? The bungee and the Discord link, I was thrilled to death. I couldn't believe it to work, and I was jumping up and down that day. It's not really a funny moment, but it's a real awesome. This is so cool. I can have this set up now the way I want to have it set up, and it'll be great. And Yeah, that was a good moment too.
So similar
Alright.
to your world edit, when I built my first adventure map with one of my friends, it was actually for Mr. We made a sun out of torches using world edit, and we also made a giant sphere of red mushroom for no reason. It was really weird. It was just goofy. We were just messing around, and it was so much fun. Why do you keep throwing steak at everyone, dude?
Because I feel like it.
Okay. Well, it's your
I'm a
turn,
meat
so
man.
go ahead with your funny, stressful, whatever.
Well, I think iGamer knows what I'm gonna throw out.
Oh, I'm sure I.
I did mention this. So there is someone relatively new on the server. Someone just along the name Dad Can Learn. So Dad. So here, let's start from here. So Doctor has that like there are different ranks on the Minefaire server. Doctor gifted me the rank of advisor because of how I like helping people, and I usually help starters, like people that first got on, and we just help people that just need anything really. So right now I have the advisor rank, and I'm grateful. Thank you, Doctor. But yeah. So Dad Can Learn, right? I joined the server one day, and Dad Can Learn. Oh no, I said, "Hey, Dad," and he says, "Hey, advisor." I said, "What's up?" And he goes, "Nothing much. So, since you're an advisor, you think you could help me with something?" And I was just like, "Yeah, what do you need?" And he was just like, "So, I want to be able to see my claim because I need to know where my limits are as to where I can build, and I just need to be able to see." And I said, "Well, if you either get a stick or you place a block outside of your claim, a glowstone outline should appear, and I do recommend putting pillars in the corners so that you have a relative idea of where your claim is." And he was like, "All right, thanks." And I was like, "Ooh, it was such a relief."
And I have to say, one of the funniest things I find about that story immediately after that's me on Discord basically is like clarifying that he answered.
I was like, "Please tell me that I answered that correctly, or I just made myself look stupid."
So, and alright. My doctor, I don't know if you heard any of what Pete said.
I heard pizza. I'm not sure I'm going to hear yours, but
That's okay. I'll try.
that's not, you can, or I don't think you can, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
So
You're recording, so the people will hear you.
yeah, exactly. So I think one of the best moments for me, and Pizza, if you can hear me laugh, we were building the base that you're currently working on remodeling, which was my base before you even got whitelisted on the server.
Oh gosh.
I think you know where I'm going.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you said to me, we should build a second base as we were still working on the first one. And my immediate response was, why? I had that mindset of like, why? What's wrong with you? I want you guys to know and understand that the mega base that we stream on and that we record on and that we're doing this podcast in right now is the same second base that Pizza 40 wanted to create over a year and a half ago. And the fact that my base has now been untouched for over a year until literally a couple days ago is hilarious.
I know, it's literally insane. It's kind of funny.
Like,
too.
my response is, why? And his response is, because, and then it turns into, like, if I had said no and convinced you to stay at my old base, I wonder where we would be right now.
Oh, I don't even want to think. we'd be nowhere were we on this server. What if we do? Oh, I don't have chat on. But is it weird that like in the last 4 months I finally figured out about Baltop?
Yeah, that's true. You didn't even notice that.
I just didn't know it existed.
But
But
Dad
I
can learn though. He's like, because NJ asked us how much money we had, and Dad was like, you don't have to answer that. And we're like, it's public record, the whole server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I'm still learning. Like I'm wearing
and eye of Ender on your head.
I'm just gonna opt to find it.
No, but it's actually crazy because we went and I'm not trying to brag. We went from having one of the most we didn't have the best base in the beginning, and over time we've just become one of the biggest, richest bases on the server, which I find insane. And you know, it's a lot of fun playing on this server. I think having the big base makes it even more fun.
I should show you guys old Froggy's place.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
I'd
we've
seen
been
on
there.
Froggy.
We've been there.
His massive island, yeah.
Yeah,
we've been
no,
there.
we've paid a few visits over there, and it is quite the masterpiece.
He's got sheep everywhere.
I guess the deal is with him is he's an adult and he runs his own thing. And usually when he gets on his own server, all he gets is bombarded by people looking for help or, problems or something else. And on our server, he can just be free to build without any stress. So he comes and he builds these awesome things. And so I'm more than happy to let him. He hasn't been on in a while, though. Maybe he's busy with e-learning and stuff.
Yeah, but his base is still there, and it is still monstrous and fantastic.
Now, I just want to say one thing, Doc. You're saying that like people are building crazy. I can't take you seriously with stuff on your head. But anyways, so I know a lot of people have talked about the dome over here on the map. They've talked about the dome itself. I just want to tell you that we're working on a second dome.
Oh boy.
Do you see the castle walls all around here? Yeah, that's going to be covered up.
How do you get labels for things?
Banners.
Alright, so I actually learned about this. So if you put a banner in an anvil, right? If you put it in an anvil and you name it something and then place it down and right-click it with a map, it'll put like a little marker on it.
That is awesome.
Talk about learning stuff, huh?
So here, Doctor, I can show you actually. Example, you'll follow the flying camera. So we are currently in the podcast house. Right? So if we go out this door, you'll notice this banner right here. This one is actually labeled Podcast House, and we right-clicked it with a map. So if we go back inside and downstairs, you'll notice that the podcast house is all the way up here, the back. Oh, that.
Yeah, down, Doc. Yeah, downstairs. There we go.
All right, so when we look back at the map, right? If we look at this green little dot up here at the very top, and that orange one right above all the snow, labeled podcast. That's the banner I showed you up there.
That's cool.
I know. It's awesome.
So we've got them everywhere. We've got them for every major landmark of our base. Basically been with
We got the iron farm, the farm. That was when you see that little house where the farm is? That used to be Machine Gun Guy's house, but then he kind of gave it to us and we expanded majorly.
Yeah, we just took it over and started building.
But yeah, that is. We should make a video, iGamer, about the history and just fly over the base.
Totally needs to happen.
Documentary series coming soon. No, I'm just kidding.
Documentary series coming soon. Equals iGamer dies and pulls all hair out because of the amount of editing Pizza 40 will make him do.
Yikes.
Exactly, but I've had a lot of fun. But Doc, I think that's all the questions that we have for you today. We both really appreciate you coming on and doing this for us. Is there anything else you would like to add before we head into the outro? Anything you want to shout out?
No, I think. Hang on a minute. I think you guys coming on is awesome. I'm thrilled that I can help you guys, and we as Minefaire can help create a space that you guys can feel free and enjoy creating content in. And as long as they let me, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. So we'll keep it going.
Sounds like a great plan to me.
Wise words. Doctor. And we really appreciate the fact that currently Minefaire's most active admin was willing to take time out of their days to come to meetings with us and then to actually sit down and record this within 2 recording sessions one night was totally amazing. So thank you so much.
No worries.
Awesome.
No worries at all.
Oh, throwing steak everywhere.
Stop. Are you just throwing my steak out like that?
Nah, it's my
Are you sure? All right.
I just zoomed in on your face when I said it.
Alrighty. Well, everyone, unfortunately, it is time to say goodbye again. We really enjoyed being able to bring you this episode with 29thDoctor. And Doc, thanks for coming, man. This has been truly great.
Yeah, Doc. Also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to go in the description, get a link, website, Discord. As always, big thanks to our sponsors, Anchor.fm, providing a platform to continue to make content. If you would like to join the Minefaire server, you may use the whitelist link below in the description of this video. Hope to see some of you on the server soon.
Alright, and if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe, follow, rate, and like. We really appreciate all your support, and Dave, I just want to tell you, good job today, man. You did it. You did a great job. But the more you listen to the episodes on streaming services like Spotify and Apple, more support is sent our way, which means go check us out on those platforms as well. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you on June 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for episode 6 of Expanding the Chunks.
Bye,
see you guys!